Hi, it's Mark Breedveld here. It's just under 2 weeks to the election, and I'm standing in front of some of the boards that are advertising the different parties, as you can see. These ones here are the Māori Party, the One Party, Vision, and the Advance New Zealand is around the corner. And then across the road we've got New Conservative and the National Party. Labour doesn't feature on this particular corner in Rotorua. What I want to bring our attention to this afternoon is the fact that we have at least 3 and possibly 4 parties that are going to split the Christian vote or the Conservative vote. And to be honest, I want Carrie Ann, who's the One Party. I know Carrie Ann, and I'd love to see her in Parliament. I'd love to see the One Party as part of Parliament. As things stand though, it's unlikely that the One Party will get the 5%. I don't know where the Māori Party stands on some of the issues that I'm going to discuss. I know Vision stands on the right issues, and the 2 issues in particular that I want to highlight this afternoon are the new and utterly wicked latest extension of the abortion law, which makes it legal to abort a child right up to birth. That is just straight wickedness. How anybody could vote for that is beyond me. I know that most of these parties that we're looking at today, Advance, New Conservative, Vision, and the One Party, are all with us as Christians to stand against that particular terrible piece of legislation. There's half the reason why we're in the predicament we're at the moment is that we don't have binding referenda, and we need binding referenda here in New Zealand. If you 3 parties or 4 parties that I'm looking at could agree on simply 2 things alone: binding referenda and a revision or a taking away of that extension of the this wicked abortion law, we would be doing the right thing. But at the moment I can't see how any of you are going to get into Parliament. What do I suggest? I'm suggesting that you all do the following. That everybody, the highest at the moment that's polling, as far as I can tell, is New Conservative. And so I'm suggesting the One Party does the following. That across the base or across the top corner, you put a sign saying One Party, but vote New Conservative. If we could do that for Vision, if we could do that for the One Party, if we could do that for Billy's party, then everybody vote for the One Party, and once you're across the 5%, you'll get 6 members. 2 members are New Conservative, 2 members are the New Zealand Public Party, 1 member is One Party, and 1 member is Vision. Then you're all in Parliament. I want you all in Parliament. And I'd say the vast majority of New Zealanders want parliamentarians who are standing for what is upright and true, and not murdering or killing our most vulnerable before they're even born. And we know that it's of no value even to the mother. An analysis, and I'm reading here from Abortion and its Psychological Effects, and this is from the British Journal of Psychiatry. An analysis of nearly 15 years of published research found that women who had undergone an abortion experienced an 81% increased risk of mental health problems. Another one from the Archives of General Psychology. In one of the longest running studies conducted on women after abortion, researchers found that over time, the relief and positive emotions related to having had the abortion declined, and negative emotions increased. Post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms include dreams or flashbacks to the operation, and a general numbing of responsiveness not present before the abortion, and difficulty falling asleep. Another one from the American Journal of Drug and Alcohol Abuse: women who ended their first pregnancy by this process are 5 times more likely to report subsequent substance abuse than women who carried the pregnancy to full term. A Finnish study of suicide after pregnancy found the suicide rate after that particular operation. I can't mention the word, otherwise they're going to take down this video. Well, the suicide rate after the operation was 3 times the general suicide rate and 6 times that associated with birth. So allowing the woman to go to full term is safer for her as well. It makes you wonder, why on earth do we have it anyway? According to the Hippocratic Oath, when doctors swear that oath, one of the parts of that is that they won't, first of all, not to do any harm. Well, we know very well for 60% of these women, it is doing harm. Why can't they simply, there's no other procedure, there's no other ailment, should I say, that if it was to disappear in 9 months, they would intervene beforehand if it had these kind of terrible effects. And yet we've had this around for I don't know how long. We've got to stand against it. And the only way that you guys are going to get into Parliament is getting together. Well, I don't know if we're too late. We might be too late. But at least give it a shot. New Conservative would have to say, okay, we agree to those terms. If we get to the 5%, 2 members from our party, the Public Party, Advance New Zealand, you'd have to agree, okay, if we get to the 5%, 2 of our members, and Vision and the One Party, then 1 each. You don't have to agree on who's going to be leader of the party, because once you're in Parliament, you go your separate ways. But you have to agree on these 2 things only, nothing more. I've spoken to Kevin Stitt. Kevin, you know about it. I've spoken to Elizabeth from the Vision and expressed this previously as well. I tried to contact Public Party. I haven't heard back from you guys. And the One Party, I think I spoke to Carrie Ann, but perhaps not along this line. But you've got almost 2 weeks to do something about it. Get your act together, guys, because I've seen all this before. When we had Future New Zealand a while back, and the Christian Heritage Party couldn't agree. If you'd had agreed, we would have had members in Parliament. And the same with, Conservative Party a little while back as well. But now's the time. We've got to step up to the mark. We've got to make sure that we have a voice. We can't have our youngest and most vulnerable, for 3 years, having our youngest and most vulnerable being taken out like this. We know everybody, anybody with a conscience knows this is wickedness. And how our parliamentarians, how they could even have considered it is beyond me. I'm thinking, Jacinda, you've had a little baby. How on earth could you vote that way? It just boggles my mind. How can you sit there all weeping for, and you should have, weeping for the 50 or 51 Muslim New Zealanders that were wiped out by this one Australian guy. Sorry, Australian. But then have no concern for the thousands of unborn. Yeah, well, I've got to stop there, guys. But please consider what I say. If you get over 5%, that's okay. We'll do it by the roll of dice. Who gets in next? 6-sided dice. 2 numbers for for the New Zealand Public Party, 2 numbers for the New Conservative, 1 number for Vision, 1 number for the One Party, and we'll roll the dice to see who gets the 7th member in Parliament. But as I say, once you're in Parliament, you can retain your name, go back to your name. But just, for goodness sake, get in. For the sake of our young ones, please do that. Thank you.